Today I'm going to use these Prismacolor Premier pencils. They're in a size 24 pack to colour in and design a tarot card. I do have some other coloured pencils, these are the Faber-Castell, but today I'm going to stick with the Prismacolor pencils as I've got 24 of those, and although I don't want to be overwhelmed with too many colours, I also don't want to have limited amount of colours. So I bought this book of tarot cards quite a while ago. It was during the COVID-19 pandemic, and then it got put to one side because life took over. Anyway, I'm back again, and I thought it'd be a fun way just to start back up on doing some art and learning a bit more about colour pencils and how they all work. So this is the voiceover at the moment. I'm going to switch over to the actual recording of the video, and it'll be explained in more detail during that. On these cards, just as a bit of a trial, just to see. That's some of them. Now, although they may not look too bad on screen, I'm not particularly happy with them myself. But one that I was quite happy with, which was elements on this one that I did. I also did a complete card just in that, and this was the coloured pencil result that I got. I'm quite pleased with it. It turned out quite nice. It was relaxing to do. I've done a couple of pencil drawings for friends and family, but nothing with colour, and even though I'm quite happy with my graphite drawings, I would like to start with other mediums that bring a bit of colour to my life, to your life, and just something extra to be proud of that I've accomplished another art medium rather than just graphite. So I'm not sure which card to start with, so what I'm going to do is just choose one at random for today, and we'll see where we go from there. Okay, so I'm going to go and start with the coins because I think that's probably the easiest place to start. Okay, just wanted to point out that even though I have done some art in the past, I've never actually filmed any art. So I'm filming this at the same time as watching the screen, at the same time as I'm colouring. So if I get carried away and something goes out of shot, I do apologise. I will do better next time. But please bear with me and we'll see how I go. Okay, so yeah, I've just basically filled these yellow bits in. I've chose a selection of pencils for the rest of the artwork. I am planning on adding some red and blues as well, but I'm just going to start with these base colours. Just to let you know, there is two versions of this video. This one is more around the art-based side of the content. If you have a look at the video which is attached to this one, that is basically the full-length video of me doing these cards, where I go talking about anything and anything. If you want to check that out, and let me know in the comments which type of video you prefer. So this bit's just about getting the initial layer down. I'm working in small circles, or trying to. My hands are not behaving on this day. Basically just getting a layer down like you would do in any normal colouring book, just so you can get some base colours down. Little tip, always turn your artwork, not your body. This dog, is this going to be a bit orange for this dog? No, that should be okay though. Put a bit of brown in it later. The young lady here should be either in green or red, green or red, green or red. We'll go red, but we'll do a slightly deeper red afterwards. So yeah, I've only done some basic colour pencil drawings. I've never really done, you know, a full art piece that I'm really pleased with. Hence why I want to just start at the beginning again and see where I can go with it, and hopefully you can come along on this journey with me. Okay, so that's blue. I'm thinking green next. Bit of a dark green. No, I think the old man needs dark green. Sorry, I'm keep having to look up and make sure my storage hasn't filled up again. I am going to be buying myself a little camera, because me using my phone just isn't practical. I either get message after message and it's buzzing away, or when my kids are out of the house I can't put it in do not disturb. Is that a green? Yeah, it's green sleeve. Oh god, green sleeves. I'm really sorry if this microphone is super great and you can hear my stomach growling because it is tea time. It's all I can hear is my stomach going rawr. So I do apologise if you can hear that. There'll be times when I'm doing these videos and the kids are going to end up dropping in on Alexa. Oh, I've said her name.
This might answer your question.
For God's sake.
Is a word given to
Alexa, stop. Sorry. Need not to say her name. You wake her up, she doesn't shut up. On these layers I'm pressing really lightly. The idea of the colour pencils is to build up multiple layers so that you can mix different colours in and filling up all them gaps to make sure that you've got even coverage all over it. And then obviously we can pull it all together later at the end, which I have some tips and tricks. I'll be covering that better in a different video, but I will show some in this video. Just figuring out what colours I want and where I want them, just basically getting a layer down so that we've got somewhere to start. Now the girls have brown, black hair pattern. Got a feeling they have blondie kind of colours. I'm going to go yellow for now, and then we'll put some shadows and afterwards. Grey. Obviously that's grey, but I think we're going to have to go very light with the black and then go over it with the blue. Blue? With the white. Keeping it darker on the darker bits, like next to his jacket. I'm sure it wasn't called a jacket, it's probably a robe or something. I don't think they had jackets back then. So on this dress of this young lady, I want the colour a lot more red. So I'm going in there first off with a deeper layer of the red around the edges of the dress, just to help build up that first layer ready for when we're going with the next. And then we're just starting putting some texture and some colour onto this bridge, this archway over the top of the people, trying to take it in nice small circles. So just getting all those bits filled in. I have actually got a really long list of videos that I want to film, but I've got so much footage of reviews and so much footage of things that I've bought and not put together. I wanted to sort of do the editing on that and get that released whilst I'm doing a bit of art in the meantime, and then that way they'll hopefully both merge as time goes on. And I'll have some videos in the pipeline that I can edit and send to YouTube for you to watch on the days that I'm not able to do one video a week or one video a couple of weeks. At least you'll have something on a regular basis, and I don't feel too overwhelmed that I need to get a video out on time and I've not got this ready and not got that ready, because I think that's what caused a lot of my panic, a lot of my anxiety and doing this. And even though I've always wanted to get this sorted and do something creative and get it on YouTube, I've put blocks myself. I know it's myself that's done it. I've put so many blocks in the way, and in the end it's just made me not do it. And I see that cycle happen with me a lot with life, and I just need to learn and realise that nothing can be perfect. Doesn't matter how hard you try, and the more overwhelmed I get and the more shut off, the less likely my hopes and ambitions are gonna happen and flourish. Definitely want some brown over that black. Let's give it a bit of contrast. I didn't want to go straight in with the brown because there's so much brown in different areas. I want it to be a bit more muted, so what I like doing is putting a black layer down first and then going over it with a colour and then blending it together. Might be the right way, might be the wrong way, I don't know, but this is how I've done it with only having a small amount of these Prismacolor pencils. Like I said, I do plan on I do plan on an unboxing of some pencils in bigger sets, which I've actually already purchased. Purchased them a while ago, but I've just not been able to sit down and do that review, do that unboxing, so therefore I'm having to use a small set just to start off, because I don't want it to be where I'm met with loads and loads of different colours and the different products and get myself all worked up again and overstimulated. This is the pencil sharpener that I use. Oh god, I don't want to tip it because it'll just be all over, but I've had this for a while. I can't remember exactly how much it was, but it has been a fantastic pencil sharpener. That's the name of it, if that helps you. But I hear a lot of YouTubers say they've had problems with Prismacolor pencils and they can't sharpen them, they're always breaking. I mean, I don't know if... I'll just show you. That's that pencil at the minute. Yeah, pretty blunt, needs a point on it. So this is my go-to pencil sharpener. Hold it in a bit better. Go-to pencil sharpener, and when it goes a bit loose like that, I take it out and look at that, how sharp that point is. And I get them results all the time. You can even go sharper at the end than that, but I find that's enough. And I've had this for, God, probably about 5 years, and I've never changed the blades. It always works well. And now I've got pencil shavings on my... There we go. So yeah, very sharp point. And even though it doesn't matter so much on this type of art, because this is flat paper, well, it's cardboard, so it's very flat. It's not got them hills and valleys that you generally get on art paper that people would use to do coloured pencils. I'm not really going into too much detail on the products that I use, as I will cover that in future videos when I'm actually doing some real drawings rather than just having a chat and getting my hand back to using coloured pencils again. So but just for example, like the Bristol paper, the Strathmore, that has them hills and valleys. My hands won't do what I want them to do. It's going forwards and backwards instead of circles. Yeah, and this is cardboard, so you don't need that super sharp point. At the minute I'm doing very light pressure. I don't have to be super perfect with it because it's, you know, it's not realism, which is what I enjoy doing. I enjoy the results of the most. I can't always say it's a joy to do it because it can be very frustrating, but the rewards at the end of it, oh my god, I love seeing work that I've done and look back on and go, did I do that? Because at the time it never looks as good as what it does. You sit there and, or I do, I really judge myself quite hard in a lot of cases. And then when I show it to somebody, I'm like, yeah, it's alright, but I could have done better. And they're like, that's amazing, I can't believe that you can draw that. And I'm, no, I'm just saying it to be nice. Then further down the line, I look back at the things that I've done and go, well, that half bad actually. I don't know why I was being so hard on myself. So yeah, that's something that I've had to learn to look back on things that I have achieved. So all I'm doing at this point is just building up a second layer that basically merges two different colours and two different layers into each other so that the colours are more of a transition rather than a definite start and finish. It helps with the blending later on, and when you start putting more pressure on in the later layers, it brings it together a lot easier. Mistakes can be made better, or they can be a way of maybe not finishing the art piece that you're doing, but you've learned from that art piece, same as you learn from your experiences. It's hard and you will feel like you've failed or you've not done something right. But isn't that what life's about learning from your mistakes? Like for example, on this, I know I've gone too red here, and to compensate that I'm trying to make it into a bit of a shadow, so I'm changing this here with a bit of over the top, and then I can just go in with the, where's that red that I was using? It wasn't red, it was brown. That's one. Just going over the same area just to give it the same tone, and then when I go in over this later and burnish it together and do the finishing touches type of thing, it won't look like a mistake, it will look like it's meant to be there, and it is meant to be there. Things happen for a reason. I think I found a better position for the camera. Yesterday, the camera was between my face and the artwork, and that didn't seem to work because I couldn't see what I was doing. I was sort of playing dodgeball with the camera and trying to do the mic, and it was hard enough doing the recording as well as starting out again. So yeah, I have to fiddle around with the desk setup so that I can get my face closer to the art but without being seen. Like great big head sticking at the in front of the camera. So I'm hoping that this is a better view for me and for you. Okay, so I want some kind of muted green or something here. Let's have a look. Not a lot of green choice. Not too light. Yeah, it's a green. I think it might be. It could be anything. It could be grass. It could be stones. It could be anything. But there's no pattern on there. There's no tufts of grass or anything. So I'm just thinking it might be green. It look like the stud in the garden of this building behind him or something similar. And my idea with these cards originally was, I read about the tarot cards needing to be personal to the reader to get the best results and other bits. I can't remember exactly how it was worded. But basically, to have some kind of personal connection with the cards, whether that they've been passed down from people or I'm not sure. But I just thought, what better way to make this more personal than using each one as an art piece. So I thought, when I saw it, it was quite a good idea, so hence why I got them. And then realised how many bloody cards there is in this pack, and it's going to take a long while to fill these in. I think again that was the problem, that I was overwhelmed. I bought this book to learn more about tarot cards. It's quite simplistic. It told, it didn't go into too much detail about each card, but because I had to learn the card at the same time as draw the card, I was putting too much on myself, and I have a habit of just shutting down when that happens, which is basically what happened this time. Last time, I should say. So this time, I'm not looking at the cards and in detail and figuring out all of them. I want to develop a sense of what these cards are about myself. And this is where I start overlapping some of the colours. So I will go in like that, which turned it a bit more oranger, and then I will go back in with the brown and go over the top of that again. And eventually you have one solid colour, which I'm just going to do the same with this one. A bit more oranger, and the back on the dark one. That was a bit darker now, so I want to go in with some darker green on his robe. That's not darker green. That's the lighter green. What's this one like? So this is something I like doing, is like when I've got these lines, these thick lines, just to give it a bit of depth to the colour, I just follow the lines on the top and then just put some over the back. Quite an easy, simple trick to do, and just follow the shape of the robe or whatever it is. clothing. And same down here. Put a dark colour on. Take that up a little bit to extend that. It doesn't have to be on one side or both sides, it can be, it just feels where you want them creases to go. Again, I'm still only pressing really light, so I can change a lot of this when I need to. I'll go in a bit deeper, a bit darker, like at the back here. Obviously the robe's going to be darker because it's further away from us. But obviously we don't want it too dark, but it's going to match in with these. In fact, with that, I might actually put a bit of a darker colour over the top just to separate it. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be grass. This bit could be a bit of a path in the background, or that's half the thing with art. It's your interpretation. It doesn't have to be how everybody else wants it to be. Yeah, it's nice to get them comments that, wow, that's fantastic, or that's brilliant, or anything. But you don't need to satisfy anybody but yourself. So I'm just going over with the same green that I've used here, just to smooth it out a bit and make it into a more of a solid colour. A bit of cuff thing going on there near his hand. I want to cover that a bit better. Now I'm just getting a lighter green and going over the definite lighter areas that I want. And then you want lighter than that again, you can use white to blend it all together. And that's what I like doing. I like coloured pencils that you can put like a base layer down, then you can put colours on the top, then you can use the white to blend it together, or you can use these colourless blenders, which I'll just show you. You could go over the top. Yeah, these ones are not as good as pencils, but just go over the top. This isn't no colour on this. And it just basically blends the two colours together to give you a more solid colour where it's all joined in. So this is basically like when you do graphite drawings and you use a blending stump. This is the same kind of thing. That's paper. I'm not really sure what this is made of. I'll find that out and put it together. But as you can see, you're going over it, and it's just basically putting the colours that you've put down together. And I like going over the darks first. See where I can turn darks up to. And sort of zoom out a bit. So it blends into the light. So it looks like the same thing rather than two separate drawings, if that makes sense. So whereas I went on the grey before with the white to make it more lighter, and blend the black and the white together to make a grey kind of colour for that old man paint. This way I'm using the colourless blender to not add colour into it. So it doesn't change the colour, it sort of just, it pushes it into any of them little places that don't look like they've got any colour on. So we've done his coat. I think I'm going to put a few bits of highlights on that at a later time. I just want to see what this purple looks like after I've gone over it. Yeah, I'm going to add a bit of darker purple to that, so I think it should be more of a royal kind of colour. Just want to check if the bridge is going to look right or whether I need to actually put some colour on there. But can you see how that red gets drawn into there now? Because I put that red underneath. It just comes from, I've gone over the coin too much. No matter, that can be fixed. See, there's no colour in this. It's not like I've got a brown pencil and going over with it harder. I'm just taking the colours that are underneath and pushing them together. And I really like that because it's like getting an instant effect. You know, you've put your colours down and it still doesn't look good and you're thinking, no, it's a bit rubbish this. Then you just get a little blender like this and you go over the colours and it pulls the colours out, and I'm not pressing that hard yet, so I could even go in and, you know, get the ready colour again. So here where it could be a bit black or dark, and just go over that a little bit, put colour in. It's not changed anything. And then go in with the blender. And here, presto, the black's still underneath, it's still dark, but there's red there as well, so it's not as harsh. And again, I could go over the top of that again and put more colour in if I wanted it a bit darker. White, yeah, you could go on at top of it, but it makes it more creamy. That's why I like these colourless blenders, because you don't get that bloom that everybody talks about with the Prismacolors, or I found you don't. This dress and that, but just look at that, that's all gritty and grainy. And I'm not pressing super hard here because I might want to put some extra colour on. You can just see that saturation comes through, and there's other ways of doing this. You don't just need to use a blender, which I'll probably do on the next video. But just that light pressure there just brings it all together. It does need some more colour on there, but you can see that this looks a bit more realistic now. You know, we can add another layer and another layer, but you get an idea of how it all comes together. So we're on the next day of filming, and I need to apologise for the camera focusing and defocusing. At this time I had just opened the new camera, and obviously I didn't have a clue what I was doing with it. But that will get better in time, and I will be doing an unboxing and a review on this camera, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and check that notification bell so that you can get the updates of when I upload that. When it's time, I will also put a card at the top of this video, so look out for that link at the top. What we see here is me going over the final layer of the cards, the different colours, and merging them all together. So the blender that I used earlier in the video, I'm using that together with the Zest It, which is a lemon based formula which merges wax pencils together to give that more vibrant colour. You can of course use a paintbrush with this method. I just prefer to have a bit more control on smaller pieces of art. This technique is really good for things like small details like eyes and things like that as well. It means you can get in there with really fine detail and merge them colours together. It also fills in all those little areas that you've missed or where the paper divots in naturally. This is really good on normal Bristol paper. What I'll be doing after this is going over the black areas with an X-Acto knife and just taking that wax off the top of those lines that we've gone over. Other than this, you can use a fine liner or a fine marker pen just to go over them depending on how steady your hand is. Just finishing up with some extra colour and some shadows. This pulls it all in for the final result. Make sure you subscribe, like and share. Thanks for watching.